You can now support the Terrible Warriors through Patreon at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. And thank you so much to everyone who's already chosen to support us. Your support is going to help us do things we never imagined were possible. And even if you don't want to support us on Patreon, that's fine too. And keep sharing the show, because games are meant to be shared. And we love sharing the joy of role-playing games with you and with everyone else too. And which is why you're here, of course. We've got a game to play. We return to Edmonton, to Derek the Bard and his Bardites. Derek the Bard and his Edmonton... I don't know, we're going to come up with a snappy title for you guys soon. Don't worry about it, but they're Terrible Warriors all the same. They've given me a little something to read before we get into our first episode of Mutant City Blues. In the criminal justice system, crimes committed by or against superpowered individuals are considered especially problematic. In Edmonton, Canada, the dedicated detectives who investigate these strange felonies are members of an elite squad, known as the Heightened Crimes Investigation Unit. These are their stories.
Hey, terrible listeners. Welcome back. It's the end of the summer, and thus we, the Edmonton crew, return. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Wes somehow shrunk in size, lost about 150 pounds, and grew his hair out to become a completely new player. I'm Derek the Bard from Chasing the Muse, and I will be, once again, your GM for this evening. Hopefully not for much longer, because we've got some guys here with some great ideas around this table. Tonight we're going to be playing Mutant City Blues. It is like the bastard love child of Law and Order, in this case, Lethal Weapon and X-Men. And Powers, I guess now, because, you know, stuff. Anyway, I'm going to introduce folks around the table. Going from my left.
Hey, I'm Jesse. I'm the one that's replacing Wes today.
Shane Fitzgerald of Circuit 42.
Will Mitchell.
Cameron Dunn of Viral Outbreak Gaming.
And together we are Return, the Terrible Warriors of Edmonton. And yes, we are recording this. Ha ha ha. Doing it live. So, as I said, tonight we are playing Mutant City Blues. And you've all got your D6. Mm-hmm. Put them on the table.
Boom.
They roll on the table, preferably on the placemat. I'm not going to let you introduce your characters just yet. I'm going to introduce them one at a time as we begin in proper cop show fashion in media res.
Yes. Boom, boom.
So, to start this game off, 10 years ago, there was a strange influenza outbreak that vanished mysteriously a few weeks later. People just got better out of the blue. And then after that, some of them started developing superpowers. And then other people started developing superpowers. It was called the Sudden Mutation Event. It is 10 years later. We're going to say it happened in 2006, so it's 2016 now. And the Heightened, as they are called, also sometimes called mutants, muties, freaks, not superheroes, are now just regular productive members of society. Heightened rights is a huge issue in politics. Some powers have to be legally sanctioned or registered with the government. There's a whole thing around it. And dealing with those are the brave officers of Edmonton Police Service's Heightened Crimes Investigation Unit, who we will open on. It's about 2 a.m. on a Saturday night. It's going along White Ave, which is one of the kind of the main trendier stretches of town for those who don't live in Edmonton. And the first thing that we actually see as it passes our little metaphorical camera is just a blur. Just a blur of a car going past, and then immediately shooting past that is... Shane, what kind of car does your character drive?
The one thing that I didn't bother to think of for my character, I don't know.
You want to say it's like, you know what? It's a minivan. It's what you take your kids to, like, hockey practice in.
Fair enough.
Okay, it's a minivan with a police light stuck on top of it. In the passenger seat, Shane, introduce your character.
Oh, good. All right, my character is Detective Floyd Burrow. He's a homicide detective who is 2 years away from retirement, like you do, and Should I bother mentioning his powers now? Or?
No, I think we're going to find out what his powers are shortly. In the driver's seat beside him, driving like a maniac, Jesse.
Driving his Kleptomaniac. He's just a regular traffic cop. He's been working that for years, but he has a very bad habit of stealing everything in sight, so he's very on the cusp of being fired.
Well, I mean, he's been promoted within the SCIU. He's a detective now. You're plainclothes. You're maybe not as much of a klepto as you might occasionally think you are.
Okay.
More to the point, you're one of the only officers in Edmonton with superpowers, so they couldn't really do anything with you. Job security. And you are driving like a maniac.
Probably because I don't actually have my license.
You have a license. You can drive. You're a cop.
You don't know that.
You were really hell-bent on making sure my Murtaugh had a Riggs, weren't you?
He proposed this to me. And he's like, these are the powers I want. I'm like, oh my god. In the back seat, however, not terribly amused by this turn of events, and chattering on the radio to update people.
Between hyperventilating into a paper bag is former Special Constable Amos Richardson. Now Detective Richardson, which is still a name that years later he's still not comfortable with. He's chattering away for backup, hyperventilating into a bag in between sort of orders. He's buckled in. He is supposed to be plainclothes. He's not. He's in uniform. A crisp, clean, straight uniform.
We took Shane Straight Man and added another straight man who's even straighter. And beside him,
We have Paul Payne, Spider Cop.
You don't get the face palm, Derek. You brought this on yourself.
Wonder what his powers are.
it's true. So the powers in this game use something called the Quaid diagram, where you buy them as they relate to other powers. And our PCs took some interesting turns. So I'm going to start you off, Jesse. Can you give me a driving check?
Driving check.
Do you want to spend any of your pool on it?
Nah.
Just straight up?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Sid driving like a maniac.
I got a 1.
First roll of the night.
No, we're about to go through the first roll of the night.
Oh, God.
Over a meridian and into traffic.
So, you're driving along in this minivan, and a minivan, it turns out, doesn't do high-speed police chases very well.
Wait, what?
As you slam through, you try to switch lanes too fast. You end up going up onto the sidewalk. You knock over a couple signs, and you plow through a hot dog cart that's just kind of been set up. You're gonna say this is, happening towards mid-August, so it's fringe. They've got some people out on the street selling food.
Wow.
You are having an interesting time dodging through traffic, and they'll make their roll. They will also roll a 1 as they slam through the meridian and go into the other lane. Does anyone want to take any actions at this point?
I'm gonna grab the wheel.
You're from the back seat.
Maybe I should grab the wheel since I'm in the passenger seat for
Nah,
some reason
it's cool.
in my own damn car.
Can I reach my hand out the window to try to catch one of those hot dogs?
No, it's not quite that kind of game.
Yeah. We haven't triggered
Dude,
the
it's
slow
the
mo.
fringe. You go for an onion cake. What's wrong with
Now, I can see this other vehicle.
Yes.
And it is indeed an internal combustion motor.
Oh.
you? Oh, God.
I need to look in the book if this is possible, but okay. I didn't actually foresee this happening when you took these powers.
I'm assuming in the, kingdom of Oilberta, it's probably not a Tesla.
I can almost guarantee you, no.
Yeah.
It is not, in fact, a Tesla. Okay, so our first power use of the evening, and Will is using suppress explosion, which is, this book has a lot of powers in it.
Oh, wow.
Suppress influence, suppress explosion.
You've already got a very interesting use of a power right here.
Do I need to see the
It doesn't say you can't.
The system
The
works.
rule says a dog can't be a cop.
Now, to be fair, keep in mind that an internal combustion engine has many explosions.
Yes, I was hoping... I'm
You could
curious,
probably-
is it a field? Or do I just, like, make him stall?
You make it stop. You make it. You turn an explosion into an implosion.
Ooh, rad. That's gonna... Okay, so I don't just stop it, I reverse it temporarily? Because that's gonna do all sorts of weird things to an engine.
You alter the kinetic energy fueling an explosion, dissipating its force and converting it into a harmless implosion. I'm not sure what that would do
What's
to a vehicle.
a harmless implosion?
You're not sure what that would do to a vehicle.
Let's find out.
Okay, do you want to spend any points on this?
This strikes me as hard, since apparently it's a corner case. I will spend 2 of my points. Or do I have to spend 2 just to turn this power on?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
great.
You, oh wait, I think you do have... I'm gonna make you roll for it in this case, just because it
It's
is
a moving vehicle, and I'm jumping around, and I'm yelling out codes to people. And,
Yeah, you
and
know
I
what?
should be in bed. It's...
You've got the...
I've got my CPAP machine in my briefcase.
You've got the cop who's 2 years to retirement, and then you have this schlob. Yeah, okay, give me a check. Do
Okay.
you want to spend just...
I'm gonna spend 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Because keep in mind, you regenerate them every 24 hours.
Oh, well, this could be a very busy day.
Yeah, it's starting up.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
I
well,
mean, if you want to spend more.
If that's what you mean, well, hey, big spender, let's go with 3.
Okay.
3's a magical number.
Oh, God, I love that
I
sound.
know, right?
We're using the bowl and the poker chips again.
Yeah.
We need more spells now.
All right. So rolling it up, plus 3, I got an 8.
Just so happens the difficulty I set was an 8.
Look at that.
So you kind of latch onto the front of Shane's passenger seat and like pull yourself forward so you can see the car.
And does it make a sound like a scanner sort of?
Well, no, but their car sure makes a sound.
Nice.
Their car immediately backfires as there is suddenly a vacuum inside of their engine.
Yup.
Shane's the mechanic. I'm not exactly sure what that would do, Shane, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be good for the car.
No, it wouldn't. Definitely. I'm trying to picture it myself. That's causing an implosion in a compression chamber instead of an explosion.
At mid-cycle.
At
Oh.
mid-cycle.
Oh.
I almost feel like that would cause like a suction action on the piston that would just
Like
throw
that
the
stuff.
entire...
It'll mess up your timing pretty
That'll
bad.
throw all of the timing out of whack.
Depending on the strength, depending on the strength of it, it could pull a piston off the crankshaft.
Yeah, no, there is definitely a very loud boom as the engine backfires. And then I'm going to give them a check to see if they can control the car at this point.
I'm hoping that they just slowly drift to a stop.
See, I was expecting that Shane was going to use his power to get involved with this instead. I didn't foresee Will using his suppressed explosion.
It's
No,
late.
he kind of...
It's late at night, and Special Constable Richardson, he needs a beauty sleep.
That's a 3. They needed a 6.
Oh boy.
So the driver tries to control the car as this happens. It doesn't work so well. They cruise back over the meridian,
Okay, so at least now they're right direction.
Alright.
and then they pretty much slam. Just trying to picture White Ave. You know that Chinese restaurant that's right across the street from Warp 1? There's like the beer pub and
Oh,
the,
old
yeah.
Szechuan?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're going to need a new front everything now.
Oh, no.
For the non-Edmontonians, it's like a stucco building that, like, at some point became a Chinese restaurant and has been.
It's like a
places,
super fancy
and
Chinese
it's
restaurant.
So high end.
Yeah. Shane and I went in there once, looked at the menu, and we're like, we're gonna go buy subs at Subway instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unassuming exterior, lovely interior.
Yeah, well, not so
Well-
lovely now. It's now full of car. Thankfully, however, it's 2:00 in the morning. The only guys there is the poor bastards in the kitchen sweeping up.
Oh, no.
And then you're gonna, Jesse, give me a roll to pull the car to a stop.
Okay. You know what? I'll use 2 points for that.
Sure.
So You know what?
Because you're moving at high speed and you want to try and actually pull up before they can go anywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that will be a 6 then.
Fantastic. I was looking for a 5 or higher.
Nice.
One of the things about this game is that I don't tell you what the difficulty is. You kind of have to guess.
Gumshoe's all about the mystery.
Not so much this scene, but...
Yeah.
Okay, the minivan pulls right up in front. And then the day suspects are going to make their athletics check to try to break out of the car to actually, attempt to leg it away from you guys. Well, no, what? They both got ones. Wow, my Borderlands dice don't like these NPCs.
Great cops. There's a lot of wall in the way of the functioning of those doors.
Yeah. Well, one of them's like pinned with a table on the side, so the guy tries to open it and he just runs into a lot of table.
The other guy's got like the buffet. And there's like hot water and chafing dishes.
Yeah. And what are you guys going to do from there? Because they can't seem to get out of the car.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, Richardson's definitely going to just keep radioing in, we may need ambulances and whatever the code for we put a car through the wall is. Actually, he's requesting the code for putting a car through a wall as part of a chase.
Do you want to make a roll? Actually,
I'm going to make a bureaucracy roll.
You don't make a bureaucracy roll in this game.
Oh.
This only requires one. Basically, you are now using an investigative skill. Investigative skills in Gumshoe are not rolled. They are automatic. Because Gumshoe is predicated on the idea that you don't have to roll to move forward in the mystery. Awesome. So you don't end up with problems where you're like, so I need you to search for this clue. I got a 1. You spend more time, give me another roll. I got a 1. Spend more time, I got a 20. You find the clue!
Nice.
So you think... And you know something kind of analogous to it?
Okay.
It's like, I'm calling in a 125. Like, wait a minute. Just 125 is like a car through the side of a bridge. Yeah, this is about as close as we're going to get on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, he's calling it in. What are you guys going to do?
Well, first of all, Jesse, what was the name of your character again?
Kleptomaniac.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, it's great.
I've been savoring it since the first time you said it.
All right, first of all, as soon as we pull over, I'm telling Cliff to get the hell out of my car.
I'm in the driver's seat. It's my car.
I leave it to you guys to decide why Shane was in the passenger seat and you were behind the wheel.
Because apparently I'm too old for this shit.
Sad saxophone.
Well, he's about to retire. He's got night blindness.
And
He
so
can't drive it.
And so begins the Terrible Warriors Mutant City Blues drinking games. Every time I say I'm too old for this shit, take a shot.
I just imagine Cliff
It'll be blitzed
saying
by the second section, I
shotgun,
promise.
tries to do the sliding across the minivan.
Yeah, the hood of the town. Yeah.
So, what do you guys plan to do? To just try and take cover, or?
I mean, they're not out of the vehicle yet. Do we know if they're armed? We've not seen that they're armed.
Well, here's the thing.
He's seen them even.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
You are chasing them because you were on this call, because they knocked over a store that specializes in mutant memorabilia.
Okay.
There's mutant professional athletes. There's wannabe mutant vigilantes who manage to get themselves sponsorship deals.
Nice.
And this is
Just by Gatorade.
exactly. So the alarm for that one, keeping in mind that you are this small kind of underfunded unit of all of 4 cops, is linked through so that the 911 operators call you guys.
Nice.
Because you're nominally responsible for any crimes involving the mutant community in Edmonton.
So this is in some way, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
okay. All right.
This is vaguely your monkeys and your circus.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, Klep will want to get out of the car, and he'll sort of hold his hands like a finger gun, and then he'll aim at the guy who's driving, and he's gonna get ready to use the concussive beam.
Okay.
Maybe you should tell them tell them to stop.
Does anyone want to announce that you're police first?
That's the first thing.
Garrett,
Yep.
You know this. I know this. The way he was holding his hands right now, if Cassie were here, she would immediately be like, Mars fire.
Yes, she would. Oh, Cassie.
That's exactly.
We need to fly you out to Edmonton at some point to be in one of these games.
Yeah, we're that desperate for a woman in this crew.
We do certainly need a more female element to our vocal cast. Continuing, guys. Let's. Who's doing what? Jesse. So you got your finger gun pointed. Shane.
I'm getting ready.
I'm getting out beside him, and I'm just pulling my pistol and badge.
just shouting, Edmonton Police Service.
Going through all the
hands up. Yep.
Okay.
Will.
Assuming that I'm done radioing it in.
Yep.
I'm going to put away the radio neatly and get out of the car nice and fast. Very stately and orderly. Maybe not stately, but orderly at least. And then hand on the firearm. Doesn't really like it, but he's touching it, and we shouldn't be drawing it yet because they don't seem to be armed. I don't want to escalate the force. He's saying out loud as he's doing all of this. And then it identifies EPS, please, hands up, and exit the vehicle and get on the ground. Okay.
Cam?
What's at the buffet table?
There's nothing. It's 2 a.m.
Okay.
Just steam.
Not even steam.
yeah,
It's like it's not even full of water. It's just it's a Saturday. It's just they set it out for the night to get ready for the Sunday morning buffet.
A slight vinegar smell.
Sweet. I'm gonna chuck a table at their car.
You're gonna what? Sorry.
Chuck a table at their car.
Well, you're outside the restaurant.
I'm outside? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys pulled up outside the restaurant. Their car is about halfway wedged in.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay. Can I web it and start pulling it?
You're not super strong.
Yeah. But I can put it between two things, so can I put it on our car?
Well, no. What your adhesive does is
Okay.
like you can project a little bit of webbing and then stick like a tracker on a car.
Okay.
Your picture frames at home probably aren't nailed to the wall. You just put a bit of webbing on them.
Nice.
3M hates you.
I was gonna say it's not the grappling hook from Just Cause.
No, it's also not
Cool.
Scorpion's freaking harpoon from Mortal Kombat.
No.
Nice.
You are Spider-Man, except you can't crawl up walls and you don't have super strength.
That's fair.
You, in fact, just got the webbing.
Okay, well, then I guess I'm just gonna pull out my gun and badge as well.
Okay. They slowly start to extricate themselves from the car as I remind myself what powers I gave them.
Oh boy.
We should really move to surround them, everyone.
I'm just taking point. I got my finger gun. I'm gonna blast them.
No, we have to wait. Did you not take the workshop?
I was on the cusp of being fired. All right, it's a miracle I'm still working here.
Well, yes, and if we don't want to have that situation reversed, then it's a good idea for us to not have... Oh, they're getting out.
So one of them gets out. He's got his hands up. He's just dressed in, black jeans, like blue jeans, black hoodie. Hood's thrown back. He's
Hoodlum wear.
he's just he's a white kid. Looks like he's maybe like 19 or 20.
How tall?
5'9", 5'10".
Eyes and hair?
Yeah.
He has them both. Great.
Yeah. He just kind of looks like some late generic late teens white kid.
Yeah.
Other guy gets out of the car. He looks probably Chinese. Most of his hair has been shaved off. He's kind of just wearing like similar, like hoodie, jeans,
Yeah.
combat boots. They look like a couple of, just kind of regular kids going out to break the law.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
He takes one look at you guys, and he's going to try and use his power.
Ooh.
And we'll see how well this works for him.
Ooh.
Very.
Apparently exceptionally well.
Oh god.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, you may want to hold on to something, because he has super speed.
Oh, no.
Was he Flintstoning it the whole time?
No, that was you in the Nightbane game.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
god.
We established in that game why Flintstoning it doesn't work.
We did. And I mean, I couldn't have turned off the engine.
So he basically pulls a Barry Allen, where suddenly there's just almost like this vacuum where he was a moment ago. And then you feel a wind blast past you, and he's like 50 feet behind you.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "Come on, man! Come on, get out of there!" And the other guy's like, "Okay, just don't shoot me."
Get on the ground.
Okay, it's just I gotta say something as he's just
Please,
slowly getting down.
Anything you say is going to be used against you in the court of law.
Then you hear a sound.
Oh boy.
It's not coming from him. It's coming from above you. And it sounds like caw caw. Except it's a lot of caw-caws.
Oh my god, he summoned the magpies, didn't he?
And what you see, if any of you look up, is this literal cloud of crows and magpies. There's some pigeons, there's some seagulls.
Oh,
Bird
no.
controller.
And they start descending.
Richardson is disgusted and is going to have none of that. He's going to jump back into the minivan.
How did I not give any of you defects at this point? I should just give you defects, just offhand.
We do it ourselves.
There's theoretically a flaw in this game. There's mutant aids that makes you explode.
Oh, God.
I wanted it.
Oh, did you actually see that when you were looking through the chart?
Yeah, the self-explosion one. I was like, yes.
No, that's the power. There's something called sudden explosive death syndrome. It is exactly what it sounds like.
Oh my god.
Only mutants can catch it. You get it if you jump between, I think it's disease immunity and cure disease. And if it goes active, you literally just explode, and everyone that you explode over is now potentially infected.
Amazing.
Shay's yawning. He's like, "Oh, I've heard better." That's a sucky fictional disease.
I'm just waiting for the coffee to kick in.
Yes, we did start this session with coffee and donuts. Cop food.
Yeah, fitting, as per tradition.
So, what are you guys doing? You've got
I'm
birds.
leaping into the minivan.
Okay, I'm gonna give that to you for free, Will.
I'm gonna command insects to go fight these birds.
Okay, give me a roll.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mosquitoes versus birds.
5.
Okay.
You play Pokemon, you know that's a bad
You
idea.
know, it's a good idea.
Bug Pokemon for isn't Pug weak against flying?
Yep.
Well, so Cam.
They're bugs. Those are birds. Birds eat bugs, you stupid Pokemon master.
Well, actually, I'm going to use that to prompt to make another roll. As Cam, you use your power and you telepathically command every bug within something like 100 meters of you.
Holy god. On White Avenue in August?
Literally.
That's like 1,000 tons of biomass.
This cloud of mayflies and mosquitoes and black flies
It's a cloud of
and
birds with a wall.
all the fruit flies come out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
Some cockroaches.
well, they can't fly, so they're not terrible. All the you grab basically all the flying insects
Okay.
and you send them up against the birds. And the birds flip their shit.
You make a lot of low-quality foie gras right now.
And he loses control of the birds.
Ooh. Okay.
Unfortunately, the birds were about 10 feet above you at the time.
Yeah.
So there's now just this swarming maelstrom of birds around you. And I'm going to ask everyone to make me an athletics check.
Ooh.
Let me know if you want to spend any points. Will, you do not have to, because I presume you probably shut the van door after
Oh,
you.
I actually shut the door and turn on the windshield wipers and the headlights.
And talk radio.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, talk radio. I have whales on.
It's not your car.
I know, well, yeah, but he's got a Bluetooth. Anyways.
You know what? Just be safe. I'm gonna also use 2 athletic points on this one.
Sure. Shane, you spending anything?
Ooh.
You gotta spend before you roll.
Yeah.
What did you?
I just rolled 5, so.
You're fine.
I'm at an 8.
You're super fine, Jesse.
I'm gonna wing it.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, you get wing guard.
Cam,
Wing attack.
you take a seagull to the face.
I become Fabio now.
Congratulations. You have mange.
And then the bugs start going over you. You lose control of the bugs at that point.
Oh no.
Many of the bugs land on you. Many more of the birds land on you.
Oh no.
You are now covered in bugs and covered in birds.
We're like maybe half an hour into this game, and already we're dealing with the plagues of Egypt.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Cam Dunn's character is a one-man plague.
Oh God.
So, Jesse, Shane, what are you guys going to do? Oh, yeah, and he's going to take the distraction this all causes to try and run. Yeah, he rolls a 1. He trips over the steam table. he starts trying to run into the restaurant as you guys are swatting and diving around to avoid the birds. And he trips over the steam table and face plants.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
I'm just gonna go in and put the cuffs on him. Just enough.
Okay, so that's going to involve a struggle check.
Both I and my character have had enough of this shit.
Basically, what that involves, Shane, is that if you spend 2 points of your struggle skill, you can essentially lay the cuffs and lay the full grapple on him, and he is subdued.
That's scuffling, right?
Scuffling, sorry, not struggle.
What a beautiful word.
Oh. I have a lot.
Okay, so my scuffling is 5.
Yeah, so you can spend 2 of those points, and then you still need to make the roll against him, though.
All right.
So this may use up all your scuffling if you want to spend any points on it.
Yeah. All right.
How many spent?
2.
Okay, so you're going to add +2 to your roll.
Oh, okay.
He's going to make a roll.
Oh.
Okay,
A reroll.
let's say he got a 5 with his point spend. You got a 4.
Yeah.
No, you get onto him. You start moving in to cuff him, and he just kind of elbows you off of him and starts trying to crawl away. Jesse?
What about the super speed guy? What's he doing right now? Is he still just standing like way off in the distance?
Well, he looks like he's not 100% sure what's going. Oh yeah, he needs to make a roll to avoid all the birds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Super speed does not include super agility.
There's a lot of biomass there.
He does not make the 5 I was looking for. So he takes a bird to the face.
Yes.
Nice.
And he's a little bit busy right now.
Okay. So concussion beam, does that just hurt people, or does that sort of like knock them out of it?
It hurts people.
Just hurts people?
Concussion beam is the sort of the basic archetypal blast power.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have additional effects. It just knocks people about.
Okay.
So you're going to roll to hit. You spend points from your blast power to add to your roll to hit.
Okay.
Then after that, you can spend 2 extra points per +1 additional damage bonus.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to assume that guy's sort of going to be busy with the birds, so I'm actually going to run over. I'm going to try to subdue the guy that Shane was just getting at.
Okay, so you want to stop the guy in the restaurant?
Yes, let's do
Okay.
that. Okay, so I do his scuffle, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, I'll do 3.
Okay.
That is a 7.
He rolled a 3.
Nice.
You want to spend 2 points on your damage roll to subdue him?
Yes.
Okay. So the sequence of events is basically, Shane, you go over, just as you said, you've got your cuffs out in one hand, you got your gun out in the other. You go down, you put the knee on his back, he rolls, he knocks you off of him, and then Jesse moves in, just kind of gives him a good clock in the jaw. You stop resisting! To be fair, he did.
Resisting.
He was legitimately actually resisting.
Yes.
True.
These are yes. And you put the cuffs on him, and he's subdued at this point. Right. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
He's got 2 cops on top of him. His birds ain't going to help out that much.
Right.
Okay.
Is anyone doing anything about his buddy? His buddy's going to make another check.
I was letting that resolve over there.
His buddy rolled really well in his athletics check. He brushes the birds off of him.
Uh-oh.
Can't have that. I'm gonna point the car in his direction. I'm gonna honk at him. When he looks, I'm gonna flick on the high beams.
Oh, no.
Give me a draw. Are you trying to just blind him?
I'm just trying to blind him, and I'm hoping that you will do something about it.
Can't give me another athletics check just to shake off the birds, or you can give me a control insects check to essentially send the birds elsewhere with the insects.
Sure.
Send them up the spot.
What are you doing?
Send the insect.
Okay, you're just going to lure the birds off? Cool.
Yeah.
Give me a roll.
I thought you were going to say that he's going to use control insect to subdue the other guy and make a stupid ants in a pants joke.
You could do that too. But you move the cloud, like a swarm of
It's an
insects, off into the sky and just kind of...
Out into the river valley.
yeah. or at least away from you. The street is covered with shit, but at least you don't have a seagull in your face anymore.
But I probably had a bunch of bugs in my mouth.
Yeah, well...
And do I manage to at least get speed?
Give me a driving check.
Driving check. I am not a good driver. Well, I'm a very safe driver.
Yeah, I mean, driving, you use driving when you're trying to do something interesting or daring with a car.
you're just getting
Your
around.
regular commute to work, you do not have to...
No, this is for like perform a boxer maneuver. I will spend a point on that.
Sure. Give me a roll.
Because 7.
He throws his arm up in front of his eyes and he looks dazzled.
Okay.
And to be fair, he's also still trying to get over being attacked by a swarm of birds.
Well, exactly. That's why I figured something like this would work. And if nobody else is doing anything, I'm going to roll down the window and taser him.
Ooh.
You're a little too far away
too
to
far
taser.
away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I will speed towards him, rolling down the window, hit the brakes, and taser him.
Give me a driving check.
I will spend,
This one's going to be quite difficult.
I will spend, let's say, 3 of my remaining driving points.
Okay.
Because I don't want to kill the child.
Oh, wait.
7 again.
Oh, good. I was looking for a 7. And now give me a shooting check.
Alright, I'm also not the best shot. So I will spend 2 points out of that pool as well.
You know
Sure.
what? I'm calling it right now. This is the game where people will die.
Well, it's funny you did that, because I did roll the 2, so with the 2 points I had, I got a 4.
You need a 4 or higher to hit someone.
Oh,
so
thank God.
okay, now give me your damage check.
Okay, that's just a D6. Does the taser add anything?
Nope.
And I don't have a pool to do anything out of that, so...
Nope.
Just gonna tase him.
Yep.
5. Ooh. Tasing
Not
good.
bad. Yeah, he
He's
starts.
wearing those underwear with the silver to keep him antibacterial.
So he starts convulsing a little. He's a touch preoccupied at this point.
Yep, he ain't running nowhere now.
You guys are terrible cops. To be fair, I
My
did state
character
Lethal
is-
Weapon was an inspiration for this, and apparently, so is Last Action Hero.
God.
Now can I web them?
Yes. So basically,
Some
you're.
of what you told me about my character, part of my character's influence now is Nicholas Angel from Hot Fuzz.
I love it.
We'll get into that when it comes up.
Well, Shane, when he was talking about his character, he's like, I don't really know what to play. I'm like, do you want to play a guy who's like 2 years away from retirement, who's too old for this shit?
Well, the thing is, didn't you tell me that I'm the only one here whose powers involve paperwork?
No. I told you. I don't remember what I told you. You
said
certainly have
something
the
about-
biggest utility
You said
power.
something about my teleportation power requiring paperwork.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
every
you have
time
to-
I-
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It's every time you teleport, you have to file a short report with the government that says, I teleported, here's where I teleported.
Oh my God.
I kind of spoiled that. I'm a teleporter. Which basically means that my character is equal parts Danny Glover, Nicholas Angel, and Catbug.
Amazing. So anyways, guys on the ground, if somebody would kindly cuff them.
Okay,
Cuff them with my web. Just start
okay,
reeling
so
them
you're going to
in.
need to make a webbing check then,
All right.
as opposed to your scuffling. So you want to spend any points on that?
Yeah, I'll spend 2.
Okay.
Right. 6.
I don't think he's going to beat that. Nope. And then you spend 2 more points from your webbing, and you successfully web him up.
Cool.
We
Can I
caught
start
them both,
reeling them
guys.
in?
We only caused
Well,
a huge amount of property damage.
The one problem with your webbing is that you are not it takes a lot of work to pull someone in.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't have the super strength aspect
Yeah.
of it. You just have the ability to shoot webs at
I
people.
just kind of want to drag him on the ground. I don't care.
You've got him. I mean, like
He's not going nowhere.
he is
Yeah.
not going anywhere, even with it, especially with his
Okay.
super speed. Because with good measure, you just kind of web his ankles together,
Okay.
and you guys basically just wait.
Yeah, well, and give them the standard, like, you've been charged with this.
Blah blah blah.
you're
The
getting
Canadian.
detention,
I'm not sure if Canada has the Miranda Act.
No, we have a warning thing where the police have to give you a warning that you're going to be arrested.
Yeah.
And tell you that you're under arrest for being charged for whatever.
I've never been arrested before.
yeah,
so.
neither have I, but
Yeah.
turns out I've played a few other cops.
And eventually, very shortly, actually, this being White Ave,
Yeah, they're like,
additional cop cars show up. A van shows up that you guys essentially it's not your van, but it's for your criminals.
Oh, okay.
So it's a van. It has no windows on it. It has nothing anyone can see out of. And
like redundant motor options. It's made out of like a bunch of like polyurethane instead of metal.
exactly, like it's essentially your power-proof van, or as close as you can get to it.
Yeah.
And they get tossed in the back. And assuming that they're not teleporters able to walk through walls or explode, they're probably going to be safe.
Nice. The guy who drives that must make a ton of money.
He gets danger pay out the wazoo. To be fair, though, he only needs to bring it around once or twice a month.
But he's
So
got to be on call all the time.
yes. So you guys are left standing in the middle of the street with their car lodged in Szechuan Garden. The street is just covered in bird shit and dead bugs.
And live bugs.
And no, he controlled.
They all left.
It is the most bug-free that White Ave has ever been in its entire history.
Oh, wow.
But the safety inspector's not gonna like all those dead bugs in the restaurant.
Say nothing of the bird shit and antifreeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the restaurant, to be fair, has a couple other problems, like the fact that there's a car like halfway through
It
it.
adds to the
Adds to the ambiance.
Yeah.
No longer a Szechuan Garden, it is now a Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
And we'll pull out to our title credits of Mutant City Blues.
Wait, before that. You set this up. I just kind of look around. I look at my partners here. And I just go, wait for it. I'm too old for this shit.
Sad saxophone.
Take a shot.
Play into classic 80s saxophone music. And when we come back in, you are back. You have offices at the downtown headquarters of EPS. So you actually have like decent computers. You have access to the forensics lab. You have access to the morgue. You've actually been set up decently well. It's just that there's not a great deal of funding because there are only 4 officers on the Edmonton police force that have superpowers, or at least that publicly admit to having superpowers. Mm-hmm. Every once in a while you hear rumors that maybe Vice has got a guy who they keep like undercover, but you're the people they were willing to shove forward.
Gotcha.
And
there's a shortage of administrative support.
yeah, and you're back there filing the just reams of paperwork.
No.
And I've been trying to figure out exactly what the analogous rank is to captain in the in Canadian Police Force. I think it's inspector.
Oh, well, it depends, because like the RCMP doesn't have a direct one, and then municipal police forces sometimes do, sometimes don't. It
Yeah.
depends on which police force you're with.
It seems to be either inspector or superintendent.
Yeah, it's usually your inspectors.
Yeah. So your inspector is a guy named Crows. He doesn't have powers. He's just nominally been put in charge of you guys. He runs like the community outreach division and the like on the side. So you guys are just sort of part of his portfolio. Mm-hmm. And he just comes in and he looks at you guys. And have any of you like showered or changed your clothes since you got back from this?
Definitely not.
Oh no.
My desk is just a mess.
What the hell was that?
Apparently, it was our new guy's driving exam with my car.
It's technically a minivan.
Thought he did a good job.
We got them, didn't we?
Yeah.
We got them?
You got them? Somebody caused a car to smack through the middle of a Chinese restaurant. And now I'm fielding calls from the city about who's going to clean up the mess you guys made over a block of White Ave.
Sure.
Do we know any mutants that they can like sweep really fast? Is that
You think this is funny? You think this is funny?
I mean, sir, I thought it was a legitimate question.
It was an attempt to stop the vehicle. They were in oncoming traffic. I figured the best thing to do would be to utilize my abilities to stop them from any sort of slowly reaches for a paper bag. Stop them from potentially causing more harm. A building that's largely unoccupied is better than a head-on collision, which was the risk to life and limb at the time. Sir.
Okay, here's what I want. I want the paperwork on my desk first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then there's going to be a review of your team because this keeps happening. Your character's name was Morrow, Shane?
Floyd Moreau.
Detective Moreau. You are in charge of these people. You have the most seniority here. You actually have a good case record behind you. You got a good clearance rate. And I'm sorry. I feel bad that you get stuck with this. But as of right now,
I
Detective Moreau is your lead officer. And he just pinches his nose, just the Giles face palm.
Yeah.
Sir, if you just review my application to be put back in archives, I would happily not do field work.
And he just looks at you.
I'll file it with the others. He sort of shrinks and
Yeah, there's a pile of them just building in my inbox.
I cycle it regularly.
Yeah. You should stop that for right now.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to go home, where I was sleeping peacefully until I got a call about this. You're going to get the reports in. You're going to follow Detective Morrow's lead. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Crystal clear, sir.
No more cars through windows. Okay. Have a good night. And he leaves.
Thank you, sir.
Clep just kind of like sneers a bit. He's just like, as he sort of leaves. He's
Yeah.
kind of like, he doesn't really like the attitude.
Richardson gets working on that paperwork.
All right, then. So we're going to fast forward to you coming into work the next morning. You submit your paperwork. And you just get to, your regular routine. And then you get a call. Inspector wants to see you. As I pull out my notes, because that was the first part of the game to introduce you, and that was the easy part.
Is he bringing in everybody or just Morrow?
He's bringing in all of you.
Oh god, we're in so much trouble.
Excellent. We're coming at the right time. Pace this episode perfectly.
Flawless.
Okay. I need you, actually, wait, he doesn't call you in his office. He just calls you up. Need you to get down to, crap. Where's the area, forgetting my Edmonton geography. Damn it.
It's largely flat, it's okay.
It really is. North end of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Last stop on the train. It's
in Clairview.
Clairview.
Yeah.
Need you to get up to Clairview. There's been a murder. Scientists from the Quaid Institute. And you guys know the Quaid Institute is... it started off... it was founded by a guy who was a lecturer at McEwen University. And he was the guy to invent anamorphology, which is the study of mutant powers. A guy named Dr. Quaid. And he started up his own private think tank called the Quaid Institute. And they have people who they work in hospitals, they work in community outreach, and generally when anything involving them comes up, you guys have to go deal with it because it directly involves the mutant community on some level.
Yeah. Have we ever seen a murder involving them before?
No.
No, of course not. Oh.
But your lead officer is a homicide detective, so.
All right. I'm okay.
Relax.
I'm fine.
There's nothing to worry about.
Oh, you guys can take your points back.
It's been a day.
Yeah, a day has passed. You regenerate your skill points and your power points every 24 hours. And if you take health damage, it regenerates at 2 per day.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, sweet.
So you drive up to Clairview,
Yeah.
and it's a
I drive up the Claire.
yes, yes. You drive this time. I'm assuming nice and orderly,
Yes.
nice and not trying to zoom in between cars and going over the pavement,
Correct.
not leaving a trail of destruction behind you.
We're gonna get away.
He's got a point.
He has a point.
I prefer
You get up there. Scene has already been cordoned off by police. There's tape across the front of the building. There is a body on top of a car. It looks like it probably fell off the 5th floor.
Okay.
Just, you look up, it's a 5-story building. The body's made a sizable dent in the car. Coroner hasn't touched it yet.
Okay, if we approach, can we see why?
Yeah, you flash your badges, flash your ID.
We're in uniform now. Stage
Oh, yeah.
well, I guess no, they're playing close. I'm in uniform though.
Yeah.
It's just the reject policing from Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they let you through. One of the constables just shows you. He addresses everything to Morrow. Says, neighbors heard a crash about 5 a.m. Came out, found the body on top of the car, called 911. We got out here as soon as we could, cordoned it off, sent for you guys. Coroner hasn't touched it yet.
Right.
Looking at the body.
Oh, hang on. You did say this was a murder, right? Or just
They think it's suspected murder.
Yeah.
Might be a suicide, but it doesn't seem that likely. I actually have a handy-dandy sheet that I printed off that has all your investigative skills on it.
I have them.
I've got a bunch.
No, you got investigative skills.
Oh, these ones.
Yeah.
Those ones, okay.
Yeah, you have rather a lot,
Oh, yeah,
actually.
mutant powers. Okay.
Yeah.
So just looking at this body, is it obvious? Is this like somebody who's got LED fur,
Nope.
or just like
He does have... now, there are primary and secondary mutations. Like, second-type mutants have useless mutant powers.
Yeah.
Like the power to change the color of your eyes, or unnaturally colored eyes, hair, or skin.
Right.
He does not appear to have any.
oh, okay, so
He might be human.
might just be a regular dude. Okay.
Yeah, he might be a norm. But he's the detective says. The constable says. But we did get his ID out of his pocket. When we saw he worked for the Quaid Institute, we put in a call to you guys.
so who is he?
And how's he dressed for 5 a.m.?
He is dressed actually to go to work. ID says he's Dr. Stanley McDougal.
Okay.
He's got ID for the Quaid Institute. He's got ID for a hospital downtown.
Cool. With the hospital, what wings is he allowed in? That might tell us what doctor he was.
Looks like he was a surgeon.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, then definitely 5 a.m. he could be ready to go to work.
Yeah.
I have a form here? And he sort of opens up his briefcase and pulls out a form for specialized evidence collection.
Yeah, I'll get this to my watch, Commander.
Okay. If you would like the rest of your crew to please avert their eyes. And so, Richardson
Are you going to Anthony Chew it?
Of course he is.
Okay, at this point we're going to reveal that one of Will's powers is analytic taste.
So he's going to walk over, and he's going to pluck a hair off the body, and, like, put it on, like, a little, like, dish he's got in his briefcase.
Yeah. Now, okay, to be fair, you are not a full cybopath. You can't,
God, no.
post-cog the body, but you can tell rather a lot, really.
Yeah, well, I figured I could get something interesting out of this.
Yep.
And this is one of the reasons he's so nervous about this, because he hates the idea of it. So yeah, plucks a hair off, puts it on like a little tray, cuts the hair into a smaller piece, and then
Eats it.
eats it with great revulsion.
Okay, so,
How many points should I spend to activate this power? Do I need to spend any?
doesn't appear that you need to spend any.
Rad. Lovely.
So, you essentially you're a walking chemical lab. Anything you taste, you can detect the full chemical composition of. You innately understand it.
Awesome.
So what you can detect is that this man was a habitual user of cocaine.
Oh.
This got a little zing to it.
Tangy's a miracle whip.
He was in his early 40s.
Okay.
He was in moderately good health. Probably went to the gym semi-regularly.
Yeah.
Watched what he ate.
Yeah, but like still, splurge once in a while.
His DNA does not taste mutant.
Okay.
What does mutant DNA taste like?
Depends on the mutant. Often like Fruity Pebbles.
Delicious.
Oh, you can get his blood type, too.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Yes, you have a high revulsion threshold. You only eat the purest, most perfect foods.
Oh, again, I'm rolling.
Or going with the Tony Chu example, beets.
Yeah.
You eat a lot of beets.
A lot of beets.
There's a comic called Chew, where the main character, whenever he eats something, gets like this full post-cognitive understanding of it, except for beets. And the second panel of the book is, except for beets, Tony Chu eats a lot of beets. So that's the information you get from that.
Okay.
The cops don't look away, but they're used to you guys. They know you guys are weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's not like he's like vampire, like ripping out the guy's throat and like lapping up the blood. But for Richardson, this is disgusting.
You're not doing the Tony Chu of like literally taking a bite out of his flesh.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like just like nibbling on a hair that he like plucked off with forceps. He's not. But for him personally, he finds it disgusting. He's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Used Head and Shoulders. Didn't have dandruff. Probably susceptible to marketing. Good health. B negative. He's clean except for the cocaine. A lot of cocaine.
He's clean except for the lots of cocaine.
Yeah, pretty good too.
Interesting thing to gloss over there, Amos.
I did. I left the most important part for last. I took a seminar on effective communications, and you want to keep your audience.
You made your point. Okay.
I'll share the PDF with you. You might find it enlightening.
Oh, great.
Oh my god, I just realized who you are, though. You're George Francisco from Alien Nation. Like 100% totally by the book.
Oh yes.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
No mustard in the coffee.
Okay, I'm going
Oh my god, they make you drink the coffee first in the morning?
Of course they do.
Take a taste. Arabica?
Yeah.
Not a single trace of urine.
Nobody.
Nobody hates us today.
Yeah, it's fair trade. Janice should really change her nail polish.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm now going to use my power, which is spatial awareness, to analyze the crime scene.
Wonderful. I was hoping you'd use that.
Yeah.
You can judge that while he landed on the top of the car, the building is exactly, I'm going to say 6.5 meters away from the street. So there is absolute, and you can actually tell his precise trajectory, where it looks like he took an extended movement out of the building and then an arc, a very, very steep arc, where he just suddenly lost momentum and then hit the car.
So based on that arc,
it is impossible that he could have just drunkenly fallen out or fallen out while he was high on cocaine.
Yeah, unless he was drunkenly making out with some sort of flying mutant. And
it's not a matter of him. It's not a matter of him jumping. It's more likely he was thrown,
or pushed, or dropped, or shot out of a cannon.
Foul play confirmed.
This would definitely seem to indicate foul play. So, in the words of Columbo...
Just so people understand, the spatial awareness basically gives me a detective mode.
It does, actually. It allows him to... Well, it gives you part of detective mode, where you're able to precisely judge spatial relations between objects. It also makes him an amazing shot. Yeah. But primarily what it does is he can perfectly judge distance, trajectory, everything. If you walk him into a crime scene... you don't need a guy with little laser pointers and glowing sticks to tell you where the bullets went or how the blood sprayed. He can tell you that automatically. And with the fact that it was Moida, we're going to end today's session. So that's been the first hour of Mutant City Blues. I hope you enjoyed our terrible police officer's antics. I'm your GM for this evening, Derek the Mark from Chase the Muse, and I'm joined with, to my left,
Jesse.
Shane,
Will, Cameron,
and come back next week when, well, the investigation can only get more terrible. Be seeing you.
Terrible Warriors is released under a Creative Commons license, which means, hell, just go and share it, remix it, use it in something else. Just make sure you give us credit for it, okay? That's cool, too. Mutant City Blues will return next Thursday. On Monday, we take a dive back into the world of the Ghostbusters with Mike the Birdman Dodd and his Hamilton franchise. Ghostbusters now hiring episode 1, because that last episode actually wasn't episode 1, it was episode 0. It was like a little pre-episode 1 teaser. You get the idea. And, of course, the Matrix Extraction we have running this month. Also on Mondays, we're like alternating the Ghostbusters and the Matrix back and forth. And I gotta tell you, head to patreon.com/Terrible Warriors and become a supporter. If you do, you're gonna be able to listen to the reaction that Ori, Julian, and Cassie had at the final episode of the Matrix Extraction when, well, Steve revealed something he had been planning since the very beginning. I don't know. I'd buy that for $1. And Mutant City Blues will return next week. Mutant City Blues is by Robin D. Lott and Pelgrane Press. Campaign music by Kevin MacLeod. Artwork by Steve Saylor. And audio production by Justin Eacock. And until next time, fellow warriors, thank you for supporting, thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing. The Terrible Warriors.